Yeah, so in electrochemical machining process, basically it is an electrolysis process. It involves your electrical and chemical phenomena, right? It is a reverse of electroplating. Um, Electricity passes through in a metallic conductor by movement of electrons, right? Electron moves when we apply potential difference, then this electron moves from uh, positive and negative to positive, and then electricity passes. But in electrolyte, but in electrolyte solution, electricity passes electricity passes through movement of ions, movements of ions, that is, we can say movement of matter, movement of matter. So you have a negative, you have positive, and you have electrolyte solution, right? It is basically your NaCl or water, right? No, it is your iron. Suppose this is your iron. So iron is a metallic conductor. So what happens when electricity passes through this? You can say that iron loses electrons, two electrons, and then NaCl breaks. That is your Na plus Cl. That is pure chemistry. And this electron combine with the water, two molecules of water, and finally hydrogen gas is formed, plus you have OH ions, and then this Fe, this fellow 2 plus combines with oxide right now, that is OH ion, sorry, and then it forms this OH2, and finally it is deposited. So this is the chemical reaction that takes place right now. So you have tool and you have a workpiece right now. So this workpiece loses ions, that movement of material, and it goes and it goes, and electron flow like this. Right now, movement of ions will be there, and the material will be eroded. It is positive right now. So this ions will be in a, it will go into the electrolyte, and continuously this electrolyte will be flow through circuit. There will be a separate circuit. It will continuous flow, and finally when this ions and finally what will happen, the shape, this tool slowly we will give a feed motion slowly we will lower it, and we will this material will be removed. So what will happen, same shape, workpiece will take same shape, workpiece will take same shape as that of tool. Means shape of tool will be reproduced in a workpiece. Suppose this is our tool shape, and then workpiece shape will be like this. If suppose your tool shape is like this, suppose, then your workpiece will be also like this. So basically it is a very calm process. It is very calm process and very calm, right? There is no force involved. There is no so what will seeing the process, seeing, I mean, when we understood it, the process, how material is removed. So what is the principle? What is the principle? So principle is your ion displacement. Principle is your ion displacement. or we can say electrolysis, or we can say movement of ions. That is same thing, displacement, movement of ions. And you need electrolyte, and this tool and workpiece must be conductor, con, I mean, it must be conductor of electricity, right? And this mass of that movement of ions will take place according to the current and the resistance and time. This is your time, and this is your Faraday constant, right? So electricity passes through momentum. We understood this is the basic principle. So here to note that what is the advantage and some important point. First thing is that as I said, the shape of tool will be reproduced. Shape of tool will be reproduced. Reproduced. Shape of the tool will be reproduced. Shape of tool will be reproduced, right? What is the advantage part? Advantage. See what is here. What we see that that metal removal is not related to strength of the material. Strength of material workpiece. I mean, whether it is hard or tough, or it is, I mean, it is not related to its physical property. It's not related to its mechanical property. Not related to physical property. Physical property. It is entirely a chemical process. Entirely a chemical process. Chemical process. Entirely a chemical process. Means no force is involved. No force is involved. No force is involved. So no tool wear. There will not be any tool wear. No, because there is no force. And here one thing note that you can machine a very thin. Suppose your very thin sheet is there, very thin sheet. You can remove very micron level material. So you can machine very thin sheet, very thin sheet. You can machine very thin sheet, very thin sheet, and it is because it is a calm process. Calm process. It is very calm. Right now, you have to keep it for 8 hours, or even 24 hours, or even 72 hours, or sometimes it is 10 days. It all depends upon how much material you want to remove. It is so stress free. There is no stress free, no disturbances, disturbance. Right? No, there is no disturbance. It is no disturbance. So it is very calm process. Very, you can machine very thin sheet, very thin sheet. Uh, our should I? Okay, no problem. Very suppose I don't know whether this should I tell you or not, but anyway, we want this. We want here thicker section. We want here thinner, and here we want thinnest. I mean here we want suppose 0. Suppose what is that 1 mm, and here we want 2 mm, and here we want 5 mm. So it is very thin. We can use that what you call chemical machining process for this part. Then this part will mask it, will cover it, so material will not be removed from here. Material will be removed from here. So you can even machine a very thin section. That is the point here. Thin section, very thin section you can machine. And if you want to suppose you want to remove material from here only. Suppose here only. You want material. You want to remove material from here only. So other part you cover with the mask, that is the insulator, and you then by this process only, where there is a movement of ions, uh, machining will be done. So what is this? It is a propellant tank. Propellant tank. Okay, fine. What is somebody ask me question? So the whole system immersed in electrolyte. Yes, 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 yes. Whole system immersed in electrolyte. Already we have discussed. We have already discussed electrolyte. Everywhere electrolyte. Electrolyte. It is covered, right? No, electrolyte will flow. Electrolyte will be continuous flow of electrolyte. We have already discussed. It is immersed in electrolyte. Immersed in electrolyte. So what is the application part? Application pass. So there is no direct contact. There is no direct contact between tool and workpiece. Again, advantage, that application turbine blade. Turbine blade, is a single crystal material that is subjected to high pressure, high temperature, right? And the stress will be high. So this process is used. Then contour machining, that is contour machining. Then your fine hole drilling, and as I said, very thin section. And what is the function of electrolyte here? Function of electrolyte. Function of electrolyte. It is much needed. Much needed. Otherwise, process will not be possible. Much needed. How circuit is to be closed, right now. So electrolyte, that ions flow through the electrolyte. Second part is it cools also, cools workpiece and tool, because during the process heat is also generated. And third number, that as I said, electrolyte is pumped in the machining area. So Nikhil has joined just now. So just for Nikhil, I repeat quickly. Is it not Nikhil? Why you are late? Nikhil is my random student. So does reactivity of electrode and electrolyte affect the ECM process either best or poor quality of machinery? Reactivity of electrolyte. Electrolyte is your NaCl and H2O. Nothing with the reactivity or something. So in the ECM, this is for Nikhil. ECM, electrochemical machining, reverse of electroplating, or we can say it is an ion displacement. This is the principal electrolyte movement of ions or metal, right? No. So basically, it involves electricity, and the current passes through the tool and the workpiece. There is a, and you need chemical electrolyte, right? No. So basically, it is an electrochemical process. Electrochemical process. It is an electrochemical process. So both tool and workpiece must be electrical conductor of electricity. Otherwise, how this electric current will flow? And it obeys the Faraday law, that is Z is equal to the mass deposited or removed equal to Z I square RT, where is the resistance, current, and this is the time. More time is more mass. Electrolytes, yeah, when power is supplied, tool is connected with the negative and a workpiece with positive. So electron, right now, electron travels from tool to workpiece, and ions, positive ions, travels from workpiece to a tool. So material is removed from this workpiece, right? And electric material goes into the electrolyte, and finally there is a continuous flow of electrolyte, and then it is continuously you have to supply, right? No, so there is a continuous supply. It is immersed, fully immersed in a electrolyte workpiece, right? Now, then we discussed this is the reaction taking place. Iron loses electron, NaCl breaks, and that electron takes this water. Hydrogen is formed. That is very important. Then oxide ion, OH ions, right? OH ion. Then this is your deposited in the bottom. Oh, H2 release. H2 is released. H2 is released, and H2 is dangerous. Dangerous because hydrogen is the best known fuel. When it combines with the oxygen, so it will H2 plus O2, it will, when it combines, right? No, it combines, a lot of heat is generated. I mean, there will be, that is, I mean, that flame you cannot see also. So must be there must be a separate passage for hydrogen. I mean, you have to escape. I mean, you have to take out this hydrogen. Otherwise, hydrogen will react with the oxygen, and finally there will be fire, right? So hydrogen is the very dangerous gas. Again, I am telling you, hydrogen is a very dangerous gas because it is in a gaseous form. Gaseous form, hydrogen is very dangerous because this hydrogen combined with the oxygen, atmospheric oxygen, and it catches fire in oxygen atmosphere, and you cannot see the flame also. You cannot see the flame. It is impossible to see the flame because it is, there is no flame in fact, but there will be heat, right? So gaseous hydrogen is very dangerous. Then I said that shape of the tool will be reproduced, means it is basically shape of the tool is reproduced. Advantage, I said strength of workpiece. It doesn't depend upon the strength of the material, whether it is hard or tough. It doesn't depend on the physical property. It only depends on, because it is in a chemical process. It is a chemical process. So it depends only on chemical property. Chemical property. So any hard material you can machine using this technology, any soft material you can machine using this technology, because no force is involved and no tool wear. And as I said, it is very good for machining thin sheet because it is undisturbed, no force is generated. When there is no force, a thin sheet will be undisturbed and stress-free. Stress-free, undisturbed and stress-free, disturbed. As I said, it is a very calm process. There is no stress, very calm process, right? No, very calm, and you have to leave it for hours, sometimes 10 days. It all depends upon your how much material you want to remove. So it is stress free, no disturbance, and there is no direct contact also between tool and workpiece. There is no direct contact, right now. But you have to give the feed motion. Feed motion is required, right? And application, turbine blade, contour machining, and fine hole drilling. Yes. Then electrolyte, it has function, basic function, much needed. Otherwise, how this ions will move? Right now, it completes the circuit. Completes the circuit, and cool, because heat is generated in the process, so it cools workpiece and tool. So, and electrolyte is pumped in the machining area. Anybody any doubt? Please ask. Please ask. And it consumes highest limitations, highest energy. highest highest specific energy. Yes, yes, please ask me if you have any doubt on this. I will move. Sir, how to decide how much EMF is required for electrolysis of particular metal of particular hardness? As the workpiece start to the machine, then how do the accuracy maintain? Very good, Anup. Does the reactivity of electrolyte and electrode affect the ECM process, either best or poor? I don't know what is the meaning of this, but okay. As the workpiece start to machine, then how do the accuracy maintain? Accuracy, fine. How to decide how much EMF, electromotive force, what is that? EMF, potential, right, is required for electrolysis of particular metal of particular hardness? It is not related to hardness. It is not related to hardness. Okay, man. I thought I will complete here, but that Anupam, attention, Mr. Anupam, for you, extra. Gate will never ask extra things. Extra, what do you call? Extra dose or something like that. Extra things. Extra material. Extra. I don't like that. Okay, anyway. So as I said, mass. So my job was here. Now that fellow is asking me to elaborate more. So let us. I write something more. So mass M is equal to proportional to your current, proportional to time, right? So mass is your ZIT, right? Now that was not I square, that is I. Okay, what is Z? Z we call E by F, where E is your chemical equivalent, E is your chemical equivalent, F is your or atomic weight or valency, Faraday constant, and that value is 96550. Z we call electrochemical equivalent, electrochemical equivalent. I is your current, right? T is your time. So basically metal removal rate is your EI divided by F rho, where this is your density, S is your specific material rate, right? So basically E by F rho is equal to specific material rate. Electrode feed rate. Okay, so I will answer his question using this relations. What is that? How decide how much EMF is required for electrolysis of particular metal of particular? So this is this relation, man. This is the thing, and then Z is equal to this fellow. Current. Current is equal to, what is current? Current is equal to your P is equal to VI, the voltage, right now, and we can write R is equal to, getting the point. This is thing here. This M is proportional to current. This is constant. This time it is not chemical. Chemistry class. It is not chemistry class here. It is not a chemistry class. You have to understand the principle here and get. So what I can say, you remember this Faraday law. That's it. Faraday law. This is all relation. This is your everything. Z, E by F. How it depends on Faraday constant. This is a clue. This is current. This is time. This is everything. Don't go in chemistry much because you are studying mechanical engineer. Mechanical. You are in mechanical engineering. You are not studying chemistry. Anyway, EDM, that is electro discharge machining. Electro discharge machining. Right? Electro discharge machining. Electro discharge. What is the electrical discharge? Tell me what is electrical discharge? What is the meaning of electrical discharge? That is spark. So basically, it is an removal of electron. We'll understand ECM. Let us understand ECM. Right? You have a tool. First process we'll understand. Then we'll understand everything. Let us understand how this takes place. What happens? This is a tool. This is a workpiece. Right? It is closed in a dielectric. It is dielectric. Dielectric medium. Dielectric medium. Dielectric medium. Whether it may be kerosene, kerosene or benzene. Right? So again, there will be power source. This is your negative. This is your positive. So EDM, no, we are discussing EDM. So basically, how material is removed by thermal energy. By thermal energy, or by, we can say, evaporation and melting. What is this? Try to understand. We generate spark. We generate continuous spark. 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 We generate spark between tool and workpiece, and that spark is controlled spark. Controlled. It is not uncontrolled. It is controlled. Controlled. We generate controlled spark, and finally, spark. The temperature will go plasma temperature, that is 6,000 degrees centigrade. 6,000 degrees centigrade. This much temperature will be generated here. And because of this temperature, because what is spark? You know what is arc? Short duration arc is called spark. Long duration spark is called arc. Getting the point? Means when the spark is for long duration, we call it is an arc. So spark is in an electrical discharge. Right now, electrical discharge means what is it? How spark is generated? Can anybody tell me? How spark is generated? You have potential difference. Right now, what happens? How spark is generated? So you think you are here, you are a electron, and you have to cross the road, but there is a gap. Right now, this is road, and there is a, suppose road is damaged. So what you will do? You will come slowly, you will reach here, but you will find that there is a gap, and you cannot pass. So what you will do? You will come back here. When there is a more potential, you will jump. Right now, that jump, it hits, that electron hits here, and finally spark is generated. So basically, spark is that collision of electrons, collision of electrons, collision of electrons. So lot of that spark creates this much temperature, and that temperature melts the material. That's why I wrote it involves thermal energy, and finally temperature is that much, the material workpiece gets evaporated. Vapor of the material. So mechanism of metal removal here is evaporation and melting. Mechanism, if you say what is the principle or mechanism, principle or mechanism, somebody ask you, because gate will ask only this. If you and one thing I request you all, once you attend the class, before attending the class, go through at least previous all gate questions. At least read at a glance, get a feel what is to be studied. I'm telling you again, don't, because it will be difficult for you to solve and get the answer, because you are no, your concept is not that much. So what you do, at least read the questions, all question of advanced machining process. Today I will send you all 87 from 87 to 2000. Before coming to the class, at least read. When you read, you will get intuition, you will get an idea that what is to be studied. You will be in a right direction that time. Otherwise, suppose you don't know where you have to reach. So once you read at least once or that gave question, you will be in a right direction. You will not get diverted. You will there will be self correction. Oh no, I should not study that chemistry part. I should adhere with the mechanical principles, because you all are getting my point. Because I am writing again, because gate will ask this only. I know gate will ask this, and gate will ask why they will give you option: dielectric, water, slurry, or electrolyte, which is used in EDM. In ECM, electrolyte. In abrasive jet machining, it is air. Ultrasonic machining, it is slurry. Electric discharge machining, it is dielectric. You all are getting my point? Everybody is following me? Anybody have gone through the what you call gate questions 87, 1987 to I'm talking about advanced machining. Advanced machining. Anybody got this? At least once you read before coming to the class, so that you can ask me doubts on that particular topic. Everybody is fine. Just I mean, because I have to train you, because my teaching must be useful. That's why I'm talking in between the content. Is it fine? Fine. Okay. So what we are discussing, electric discharge machining. Electric discharge machining. Right now, so as I said, it is controlled erosion, controlled spark, controlled a series of controlled spark, a series of controlled spark. That is the principle. So when a spark is there, there is a temperature. When there is a temperature, there is a thermal energy, there is evaporation, melting, right? No, and we generate spark between tool and workpiece, right? And dielectric medium is used, kerosene. So basically, yes. So process takes place like this. It is intermittent. It is intermittent process. It is intermittent. It is not continuous. It is an intermittent process. You have to spark. Function of dielectric we are going to discuss. We'll discuss, man. Rajat will discuss. So intermittent process, it is an intermittent process. So we apply intermittent process basically, right? Intermittent process. And as I said, this entire tool and workpiece material is immersed in a dielectric, and dielectric generally is your kerosene or deionized water. Deionized water. Deionized water. Different type of waters are there. Raw water, demineralized water, right? No, ionized water, soft water, hard water, right? Hard water, soft water, ionized water, demineralized water, raw material, raw water. We use which filter in our home here? UV. What is that what is the filter we use? I mean, RO water. So you further reading. Okay, you when you get time, interested, you read all these things. Raw water, demineralized water, ionized water, soft water, hard water, RO water. So here I am talking about the deionized water. Ions will not be there. Ionized by some chemical process. This water is deionized. And you know that tool is, this is your tool and this is your workpiece. Sorry, workpiece, and there is a gap. This is your gap, and that gap is filled with dielectric. So what dielectric function? First function is it maintain a gap, maintain gap, because you need a gap to jump the electron. Spark is generated by you have to you create a gap. You have to create a gap, right? No, because in welding, arc welding, when we were teaching arc welding, that arc column, arc space, right? No, that time we'll discuss in details how arc is generated. So maintain a gap. And second part, it cools, right? It cools. Then you have a constant resistance, constant resistant resistance. Then wash away. This was, oh, I mean, we can say it is carries away, eroded, eroded material, material, right? So you have maintained gap, it cools, it maintains the contact resistance and carries away eroded material. And electrode material, and a electrode material, electrode material will talk right now a little bit. First, it should be high electrical conductivity. Conductivity. Second is your high thermal conductivity. Because it is in a electric arc is to be generated, that is spark, so that both workpiece and metal must be conductor of electricity. And high electricity, high electricity, high melting temperature, high melting temperature. So generally we use uh, tool material graphite or copper or brass. These are tool material because it is good conductor of electricity. First criteria is good conductor of electricity. Always remember, when in book also it is there in a series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the order, order of importance. This will be BB, BB, IP, very, very important. This is very important, then important, important, like that. Generally, that is a tradition. But yes, first few points at least you have to understand. Then application, for what EDM will be used. EDM will be used. First, narrow slot, narrow slot, or to cut. As I said in the one yesterday example, you want to make a narrow slot. Narrow slot. You use a pin type, a very thin tool, and electric spark will be generated, and this part will be melted. And all is all. I mean, the this is advanced machining process. Biggest advantage is metal removal rate. In IIT Roper, one guy, basically is my college junior, he is doing research on this advanced machining process. So we had talk on this. Anybody more interested in this, I can make contact. So he is doing all this part. So he's the in India, I think only 8 scientists, 8 professors are there. Only 8, I think, 6 or 8, whose research area is advanced machining process. Then tool sharpening. If once you use a high speed steel tool or All right. So it got blurred. So you want to make it sharpen the tool, then this will you use. Then third is your micro holes for nozzle. Micro holes for nozzle, because nozzle material is again hard, right? Now it is a nozzle, or we can say for die making also. Die making, yes, it is important. Die making means here a peculiar thing is that 6000 degrees centigrade temperature, it can melt, evaporate any hard material, any, right? So narrow slot die material is very hard. Nozzle, nozzle is made of nozzle is again, no, suppose you want to make a abrasive jet machining nozzle. So tungsten carbide is the, so you want to machine this, you will use this EDM process. You want to make nozzle for abrasive jet machining. Limitations. What is the limitations or disadvantage, you can say? High specific energy consumption. High specific energy consumption. It is almost 50 times higher than conventional machining process like your lathe, shaping, turning, boring, conventional. 50 times. Suppose 12 kilowatt, so it is 12 kilowatt into 50. But the advantage is already said, it is used for very hard material, right? No. Then you have non-conductive, you cannot do anything. For non-conductive, what will you use? Will you use AZM or USM? Right? No, for non-conductive, this is not possible. So this is about what you call electric discharge machining. Now electron beam machining. Everybody is following me? Or sleeping? Let me know whether following or not. Because here I cannot see you guys are sleeping or because in Kerala when I was teaching in Trivandrum, after lunch time, no, almost half of students will sleep because of this happy rice consumption. Is it no, Ravichandran, Munir, Nikhil? That chamba rice. What is that chamba rice? That brown rice. Chamba. That rice I use now also, brown rice. But I like Kerala, yaar. Kerala I like. Kerala is very, I mean, a very calm place. Fine. So let us continue. Electron beam machining. Electron beam machining. Electron beam. It is in a beam, right? It is in a thermal jet, we also call. So first we'll understand this. Let us make some sketch. This much we are studying, but GATE will ask only one mass question. Yeah, fine. We have to generate electron. So this is your tungsten filament. Tungsten filament that is positive, right? This is positive. Then electrode will be generated here, right now. Then workpiece, that is your, sorry, negative. This is negative. This is your positive. Workpiece positive. And right. So yes, there will be some accelerator. Just understand this. Let me draw first. And the entire, this is actually chamber, right? So this is your positive, this is your negative. So electron gun, there will be electron gun, right? Tungsten filament, or we can say hot filament. And these are all your electron magnetic lens that we call electromagnetic lens, focusing lens we call it actually. Fine, right? So it is vacuum chamber, complete vacuum will be there. Vacuum chamber, okay, right? This is your anode. Fine. So what is, as say there is a electron beam. So first you have to generate electrons. So what we do, we take a tungsten filament and we apply that current right now, and finally we get electrons. But electron will be here only. It will not move. It will be just over the filament. So we use electromagnetic lens. Basically, you know that electromagnetic lens, basically it is a focusing lens. It is a cross section. In fact, it is like this, because it is like this. It is a complete chamber here. I have seen all these things. It is a basically cylindrical chamber, right? So electron is generated here, but electron is free from, I mean, it is free, I mean, it is not moving. So this electromagnetic lens, basically it is coils that generate magnetic field, that generated magnetic field, that generate magnetic field, and that electrons is accelerated towards this positive. Electrons are accelerated electrons are accelerated using these coils, that is magnetic lens we call it. Is lens name is the, you don't assume it is light lens. Light lens will be used in a plasma arc machine, that I will discuss. But here it is name is electromagnetic lens, where it is focusing lens. Basically it accelerates the electron by providing that magnetic field. So electron is accelerated towards positive, that is our workpiece. So electrons hits with very high velocity, very high velocity, very high velocity, very high velocity. And when it collides, heat is generated, and finally your melting, evaporation, everything happens. Melting or evaporation of workpiece. And again, using this magnetic lens, you can change. So you can change this jet. So basically, jet of electrons, that is also called thermal jet, because it, or kinetic, because it is in a high velocity electrons. Speed is, you know how much? It is almost 22 kilo thousand. I mean 22,000 kilometer per second. This much speed. 22,000 kilometer per second. Per second. I am talking per second. It is not hour. It is second. Right? And see, and we are this electromagnetic lenses that helps to focus this jet to the workpiece. And finally, a small spot, very small spot. It is in micron size, that where it will heat, and finally melting will be there. And by changing this electromagnetic lens, by shifting, you can shift this jet impact, and finally machining is done. So basically, how machining is done? It is, you have understood, a stream of high speed electrons that impinges on the work surface. So basically, that kinetic energy of electrons, right now, that is velocity, I said 22,000 kilometer per second, electron velocity. So kinetic energy, half mass of electron and velocity of electron. And how many electrons are there? That is to be multiplied. So kinetic energy of electrons, that is converted into thermal energy. So this thermal energy again is used to melt the material. So mechanism or principle is melting and evaporation. Because, and one more thing, one is called power density. Power density. What is power density? Means it is power divided by area, right? Power density high, it means area is small. So that spot where this electron hits is very small, that area is very small. So power density in this process is very high. Power density in this process, in the EBM, is high, very high, because this power, that is that kinetic energy per second, then it is power, and because that area is very small, it impinges, that it hits at a very small area. So power density is very high. Power density is very high, and then it melts and evaporates. And you know, in AGM or WHGM, that is water jet, these are called, we call mechanical jet. As I said already, here it is called thermal jet. So thermal jet, because it produces thermal energy, right? So, and it is done in a vacuum. Complete vacuum is there. Because if some particle is there, the electron will collide with the particle, and the kinetic energy of the electron will be lost. So it is done in a complete vacuum. And nothing is there inside. If anything is there inside, electron will collide, and the energy will be less for the for the generation of thermal energy, right? And one more important thing about heat affected zone, that we call a heat affected zone. This is very important in a welding. This is very important in a welding. What is heat affected zone? Suppose you are welding a part like this. This is your welding. So when you apply heat, right now, so surrounding area get heated. Surrounded area get heated, that we call heat affected zone. Basically, when you heat something and cool, that process we call heat treatment. Heating, cooling, right? Heating, keeping for some time, and then cooling, heat treatment. And that heat treatment changes the mechanical property of the material. As I said, there are three ways to change the mechanical property of the material. One is your alloying. By putting some alloying element, you can change the mechanical property. By heat treatment, you can change the mechanical property. By forming, by directional strength, you can change the mechanical property. In this case, electron beam machining, because the spot diameter is in a range of micron. It is 100 micron to 10,000 micron. And you know, 100 micron is our hair. So it is 100. That spot is our that one hair thickness. So heat spot diameter is very less. Power density is very high. Heat affected zone is very low. I mean, there is no heat affected zone. There is no heat affected zone. That is the advantage. Application we'll talk. Application, what is application? Drilling fine holes again. Drilling fine holes. Cutting narrow slots. Right? And here all materials, whether it is conductor or non-conductor, we can machine. But in that case, what is electro discharge machining? Only conductor. Electrochemical machining, only conductor. But here you can conductor, non-conductor, any material you can machine. You can drill fine hole. You can cutting narrow holes, cutting slots, already slots, right? We can use. Then limitations. First is vacuum. You need vacuum, otherwise process will not be that much effective. And expensive machine. Because here you put that positive, it is not material. This because here it is hits, because right now, because suppose here purpose is to make contact of electron to the workpiece, right now, and that magnetic lens does. So you can use that. Electron has to hit, right now. Once it hits, our job is over. Then expensive machine, it is in 5 crore or 10 crore is the price. Very expensive. Then what is the tool here used? Tool is your nothing. It is a beam of electrons. That is our tool. High specific energy consumption. Energy consumption is very high. High energy. consumption. So fine, everybody is fine. You check, Rajat. WhatsApp me after studying full. Yes, it is for non-conduct all material. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss plasma arc machining. So here, what you have to remember in this, again, I'm telling you only few points you have to remember. Few points. First is your vacuum. You have to what at least these things you have to remember. Vacuum is required, right? Then tungsten filament. Then these coils. This is speed. It is in a thermal jet. Kinetic energy of electrons, thermal energy. Then power density, very high power density, very high power density, in very high power density. Power density very high. It is almost in the range of 10 raised to power 6 watt per millimeter square. This is the power density range. Then you have a heat affected zone is very small. Heat affected zone is very small, right? Heat affected zone is very small. Then application, you have drilling holes, slots cutting, and all materials, conductor, non-conductor, vacuum, expensive material, 5 crore to 10 crore. Tool is your beam of electrons. Then Mr. Rajat will tell you all materials or not. Okay, thank you all. Tomorrow we'll discuss plasma arc machining and laser beam machining. Anybody, any doubt, please ask. Munir, yes. Everybody is fine? Thank you everybody. Thank you.